Welcome, everyone. You are about to embark on a journey through the universe as you indulge in this extraordinary essence of enlightened, empowered, evolved. Let the show begin in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Just in time. Greetings, everyone. I'm Luke Bryan Smith, and welcome to Enlightened, Empowered, Evolve, where we educate, motivate, and liberate you through enlightening dialogues, empowering music, and evolving content. I know everyone's doing well, and everything is unfolding perfectly. I'm excited yet again because my next guest is an intuition and manifesting coach, intuitive counselor, animal communicator, and Reiki Master-Teacher, and a lot more. Allow me to introduce to you Jennifer Dickman. How are you doing today, Jennifer?
I'm great. How are you?
I am doing absolutely fabulous, and I'm thankful for being here right now. And I just want to say that I am a firm believer that time is one of our most precious assets. And for you to choose to spend a moment of your time here with me on Enlightened, Empowered, Evolved, I just want to extend my sincerest gratitude to you. So thank you very much for being here at this present moment.
Well, thank you for spending this time with me. I 100% agree with you.
Absolutely. So let's just get right into it. Intuition and manifesting coach. Let's start off right there. Tell us a little bit of what that entails from your perspective and how did that come about? Give us a little insight on that.
Okay, so, I started in the intuitive space, but more focusing on the animal communication and the intuitive coaching. I had a magazine column in Wisdom Magazine for like 14 years,
Oh,
which was
wow.
also, yeah, and that was more focused on the animal communication.
Ask your pet.
Yes,
Yes,
exactly.
yes, yes. I was going to ask you that next, but go ahead. If this all ties into that, yes, let
It
us.
it it evolved.
Okay,
So, over the years, I began to notice, and people around me began to notice, that I had these manifesting abilities, and they seemed really tied into my intuition. Like,
right,
just as a silly example, one time in college, I was in a little store in New York City with one of my best friends, and I just said to him, "There's a scratchy ticket in that machine that's a winner, and I have to buy it." And he was like, "You're crazy. Don't waste your money." And I was like, "No, I have to do it." And I put the money in and I won $40,
oh,
which
wow.
for a college kid in the 90s was pretty good.
Absolutely, absolutely. Even now, I'll take a $40
I'll
out of
take it
nowhere.
now, yeah. So, things like that were happening, and I
Mm,
realized it was through intuitive hits. It was through using my intuition to discern who I was,
right.
what I really wanted, to target the right things.
Mm,
And that's evolved over time. I actually had like a wayward manifestation several years ago when I first became familiar with Dr. Joe's work. I should say his whole name because I just assume people know Dr. Joe.
Dr.
Dr.
Joe
Joe Dispenza.
Dispenza. Hold on a
He
minute before you move forward. Yes, yes, we're all familiar with Dr. Joe
is
Dispenza.
the
Hold,
man.
hold on. Yeah, see?
Yes. So that is the book connected to my wayward manifestation.
Okay.
And I was reading that book in 2018,
Right.
and I just was like, okay, I'm going to do this. And I didn't do any real work on the manifestation first to sort of discern, do I really want this? What do I really want? What's for the highest good of all? I
Right.
didn't do any of that. And I just was like, I'm doing this Dr. Joe thing. And I thought to myself, oh, I would love to go back to New York City because I feel like I missed opportunities there when I was in college, and just visualize this whole thing doing the Dr. Joe stuff. And it wasn't what was meant to happen for me or for my highest good. And, everything happens for a reason. And it ended up, we were
Absolutely.
living outside Boston at the time. My husband lost his job
Oh, wow.
and ended up getting a job in New York City.
Oh, okay.
But it was absolutely, years down the road, it was
Oh,
not the right place for me. It was
right.
not the right place for my kids
Mm,
for many reasons. I have an immunocompromised son. He was getting sick all the time.
right.
There were a lot of problems with it. Um, my husband has a fabulous job there. It's great, but my kids and I ended up having to move away because
Mm,
it wasn't a good situation, and it
right.
actually for a while took me away from Dr. Joe's work, because I just felt like this went horribly wrong, and I was
Right.
really scared.
Right.
And
Probably a
then
bit frustrated as well.
I think I was freaked out
Mm.
more. Like,
Oh,
I would
okay.
see Dr. Joe, and I would be like, "Ooh, he freaks me out," because I felt like his stuff worked, but I felt like he hadn't taught me, and it's my fault, not his, but I felt like he hadn't taught me the steps to get there.
Mm, okay.
So, in the interim, I was expanding my inner work and still doing all the stuff I do with the intuition and the animal communication and things like that.
Right.
And then I came back to Dr. Joe's work in I'd say maybe 2022.
Okay.
And at that point, I really knew that I had to do it with a lot of thought and a
Mm,
lot of insight
right.
and really getting to know myself and what I wanted to manifest and thinking about it.
Wow. Right.
So last year I did that and being more familiar with him and doing a lot of work like, catching my thoughts and
Right.
raising my vibration, all the stuff I should have done before ever trying to manifest
Right.
anything.
Right.
And also having intuitive awareness because I think
Mm,
that's important because it helps you see opportunities and synchronicities and messages and things like that.
right.
So, anyway, so last year I decided to do a Dr. Joe meditation for abundance.
Okay.
And I did a very specific method after having done all of that work.
Mm,
And within about 6 months, I manifested six figures like out of nowhere. It
wow.
literally, it was like a bizarre inheritance that I never ever would have expected, not from like a relative or anything. It was bizarre. And it was the amount that I was like, okay, this is the minimum. And it was so bizarre. And one of the reasons I did it was I wanted to work with a particular business coach.
Mm,
And I was like, okay, well, if I manifest that much, I will do it. So it
wow.
happened.
That's
I
amazing.
started working with her recently. And when we met on Zoom and we're talking, it turns out she's a Dr. Joe person and has gone to his
Mm,
advanced retreats. And there are
wow.
just so many synchronicities. And
Exactly.
I've, I've gotten to the point where a couple months ago, I should stand up and get him, but I decided I wanted a teddy bear. And within like 3 hours, a giant teddy bear was delivered to my door that I didn't order. It's
Hey, no,
crazy.
uh, amazing, first of all. Congratulations. And it doesn't, I am so thankful, and I'm not making this about me, but you'll see where I'm going with this. I'm so thankful that when I listen to these extraordinary, stories and examples, it doesn't shock me. It doesn't. It excites me, but it does not shock me because I know when we really tap into our intuitive gifts and allow the universe to uh, give us what, what we want and what is rightfully ours, what we deserve, what the universe wants to give to us, then it'll happen, and not in any way, not in any fixed way. And all we'll be able to say is it's quite bizarre or unusual, but that's one of the reasons why I part of my affirmations that I say in regard to especially monetary wealth is thank you for expected and unexpected, money coming to me, and and in all ways, so it's not like I just fix it like, okay, I'm going to get this money because I'm going to play the lottery and that's the only way that I'm going to get it. Just, I know the universe is created everything. So you never know what way it can come in. It could just be some person that shows up at your doorstep that says, hey, I just I've been watching you for a while, or something tapped me on my shoulder. I'm a wealthy person and told me to give you this, So yes, and thank you for sharing that, you know, that with us. That's very encouraging, very inspiring, and it's just another example of how, how the universe works. It's amazing.
I have to tell you that the tap at the door thing actually happened to me years
Right.
ago.
Right. No. Yes. Yes.
Yeah, my family was going through like a really, really rough time. And this lady came and she was like, I inherited money from my mother and I don't need all of it in here.
Oh,
And
wow.
it was just like nuts. Yeah.
That is absolutely incredible.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
we have to teach other people because people, I think the secret, in a way, it was a great thing. It
Right.
got spirituality on the forefront, but in a way, it made it so superficial.
Mm.
And people are just like, oh my gosh, I'm going to manifest the car and the this and the that. And it's
Yes.
like,
Yes.
if you want those things as a reflection of your abundance after getting to know yourself and what you truly want,
That's what I was going to say.
that's fine if it's in alignment, but
Mm.
you gotta do the work to know who you are and what you really want
Wow.
first.
Thank you for clarifying that and for elaborating on that, because I resonate with that, and that is so true. You do the inner work, um, instead of just having your focus strictly on just money and material things to show off. Everything has to be in balance. You have to work on that balance within yourself, and these things, that you desire will come to you. But at the same time, you have to do that inner work, and it's a process to get your mind right. That way, everything that does come to you, you will be in balance, and it won't throw. Because I can say this from my experience, I've seen people gain things that they probably shouldn't have at that time, and it ended up being dangerous to them. Like they got a certain amount of money and they just went crazy, you know, or they got a certain car and they drove it crazy and crashed and got into an accident and messed themselves up. You never know, when you're not ready for things and you get things before you're balanced and ready to receive it, it could be dangerous. So, you know, yes, I like what you said,
Yeah, for sure. And we all hear about the people who win the lottery and then they just
right?
lose it all
Lose it
because
all,
yeah.
or they become this person that they don't recognize. And yes, and that's because I think, in my perspective, and I'm not judging, I'm just making an observation, that they really substituted the money for um, loving themselves and getting to know themselves and working on themselves, and their distraction was just on spending and look what I have, and that was they attached who they were. They allowed the money to define who they were. Now
Yes.
you have to find a definition, in my perspective, of yourself. So no matter what you have or lack thereof, it's still you, you know. And that
Yeah.
to me, yes. And that in that way you will avoid something like that. So, I'll talk to the universe and say, whatever I'm thank you for giving me what I'm ready for and for what you want for me. And then I'll still put my desires too, but I also want to be in alignment. So I make sure I'm thinking in that way too, because I want what comes to me to be in alignment with me. If it's not, then I don't need it at that time. It's fine. I'm not going to just beg for $1 million just so I can go buy a yacht or something like that. Yes, of course. I think I can speak for a lot of people. Getting manifesting $1 million is wonderful. It's nice, but you know, I want to be in tuned and in balance with that $1 million, and so that I am using it in the right way. Of course, buying some things I enjoy, but also, allowing it to flow and giving and just, it to enhance who I am as a person, not to create a monster or anything.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. And really, if you are not at peace with yourself, you're not going to be at peace with
No,
that money.
no. Temporarily, it'll give you a temporary adrenaline boost.
Right,
Temporary.
exactly,
But
exactly.
yeah, if you're miserable and you don't love yourself and you're reflecting, a lot of anxiety and hate and things like that, it's not going to go away because you get money. You're going to all of a sudden transform into this happy, genuinely happy person. You might be
Yeah,
happy for a few days or week or month or whatever because of the money, but then after it all settles in and you get used to it, like, okay, I have it now, then you're faced with looking at yourself again. And now what?
exactly. But if you do the inner work first and then you get that money,
Right.
you can just stay happy. You can build on it. You can use it to
Right.
bring joy to other people. And the same money, but a completely different experience.
Exactly. Wow. I like the way you orchestrated that. Exactly. Amazing. So, if you don't mind, give us a little bit more um elaborate on the pet ask your pet column and you being, working with animals. Give us a little bit more on that. And how did that come about and what does that all entail? Because that's very unique. I haven't interacted with a person that is sort of like, I don't know if I'm saying this right, a pet animal whisperer or something.
Yeah, an animal communicator is
Yes.
what I call it. Yeah. So it's the intuitive gift that I think just came to me the most easily. And I think
Right.
that's because animals are doing half the work for us because they communicate telepathically.
Right.
So
I agree.
it's yeah, and it just I think it came to me very naturally. I would always growing up have just weird experiences with animals just being drawn to me. My dad had to rescue me at the children's zoo when I was little because this like flock of sheep just like surrounded
Oh,
me.
wow.
Like I had a lot of weird things like that growing up, but my parents were not into animals, so it
Oh,
didn't
okay.
really get nurtured. And then years later, when I was doing my Reiki training, my teacher had a cat
Mm,
and she went out of the room to do something, and the cat started communicating with me.
mm,
And the teacher
wow.
came back in, and I was like, I think your cat is telling me she's having trouble breathing through her nose and whatever else she told me. And she was like, you're right. She has this medical condition with her nose. And okay, when you do Reiki training, it often brings out your intuitive abilities and you're a natural animal communicator and go get trained. So
Wow.
I did.
Wow. That's amazing. Wow. So are there any certain animals? I'm just coming up with what I'm thinking right now that you communicate with better, or is it all animals? Or, I mean, how does
It's
that work?
it's all animals, really.
Okay.
I love communicating with horses because they're
Oh,
really,
wow.
really smart. I love birds. They're really, really smart too.
Mm.
And I'm
So you're
saying that, and the only animals in my whole career doing this for almost 20 years that have ever bitten me were a bird and a horse. But
you
but I
must have
love
communicated and said something to offend them.
them.
Like told the bird his feet were too big or something.
And you know what? That bird is still around. That bird is named Sassy. And I did a session again with the bird like last year, like 13 years later. Yeah.
Wow, that's incredible. That is actually incredible. So you're sort of like a Dr. Doolittle.
Sort of. And I was briefly married to a veterinarian, so that
Oh,
made it
see.
even more interesting.
Wow. That's amazing. And that's exactly what my daughter is pursuing. Yes.
Very cool. Yeah, my son
Yes.
wants to be a vet too.
Yes. Yes. My daughter loves animals. And yeah, we have two Yorkies here. They're
Oh,
inseparable.
oh, that's so
Yes.
sweet.
Do you have any animals?
I do. I have an incredible, ginormous dog named Bear.
Wow.
Um,
What
and
kind?
that
What
he is
breed?
he's a mutt. He's like a
Oh,
German
okay.
Shepherd mix,
I thought
but
you were
he's
going to say Great Dane because those
no.
are huge.
Yeah, yeah. But he's pretty big. He's about 90 pounds.
Oh,
But he's
wow.
he's one of my stories because we went through a lot of heartache with dogs, and I was
Mm.
like really trying to find the right dog for us, but I had put it on hold and I was like, not until we move. And I saw this dog's picture on a shelter website.
Oh, wow. And it spoke
And
to you.
it was instant love.
Mm.
I
Wow.
was just like, this is my dog. I know this is my dog.
Wow.
And we just went and got him. And he's like my soul dog. And it was
Mm.
like an instant bond. And, if I'm not with him, he's outside my door. And he's fabulous.
Incredible. Incredible. Yes. Thank you for sharing. And lastly, uh, tell us a little bit about this. What was it? I believe I saw. I don't know if I could find it yet, but the 14-day intuitive manifestation kit. Elaborate on that a bit, if you don't mind.
So I'm so excited about this because I put this together to help people do what I did and
Mm.
do what we were talking about, where
Right.
I
Exciting.
take them through these methods where they work on wrong thinking, they work on energetic blockages, they work on emotional blockages, they work on developing their intuition, all that stuff before we even get to the manifesting. So then when they
Wow.
get to the manifesting, they're ready for it, but
So
they're working on doing it for their highest good with intuitive awareness so they see the signs and the synchronicities and can follow them. And it's really just 14 days to get people to the point of, okay, if I take this seriously and I do this work, I am going to have the skills to manifest things.
wow. So you help cultivate, yes,
Yes.
the energy, the mindset. That's absolutely amazing. Thank you very much. Before we conclude, can you please share some links that people can find you and find your 14-day kit and all that audibly?
Sure. So my Instagram, which definitely has like link in bio and reels and everything to the kit, is Jennifer Dickman one, which the word one is spelled out
Okay.
um, instead of the numeral. The URL for the kit, it's bit.ly, so it's bit.ly/ the 14-day intuitive manifesting kit. And I do have for you that coupon code for your listeners.
Yes, I was looking. Yes, I'm definitely, And sorry to cut you off, but yes, I have that code, and I'm definitely going to incorporate it in the description of this segment once it's edited and uploaded. But yes, tell us a little bit about that code again, please.
So that is a coupon. It's already like I priced this thing pretty inexpensively because
Right.
I want to get it to people. So I believe was it 10% off or 20% off? I don't even
Yes.
remember.
Yes. Hold on. 10 $10 off coupon
Okay.
to the
So
first 20 people who purchase the manifesting kit while after watching the podcast. So I'll be sure to put it as it says right here exactly, right in it into description, to the description. Ugh. So whoever's watching and or listening, be sure to go into the description of this segment and yes, click that link so that you can have $10 off the manifestation kit.
thank you. Yeah, and then people can just if they just put in Jennifer Dickman animal communication or intuition on Facebook, I come up.
Oh, okay. Absolutely. Beautiful. And again, thank you very much for showing up today and sharing some of your time. I appreciate it. There's some things popping up I'm trying to get rid of, so excuse me that I'm looking over here. I don't understand why these are popping up over here. Usually they don't. It's notifications from my YouTube. But yes, so thank you very much, Jennifer. I appreciate you, and thank you for giving us just your incredible story, and especially in regard to, manifesting and your incredible animal communication. I think that's really intriguing. Thank you.
Oh, thank you so much. I really enjoyed this conversation. I think this is my favorite interview ever. So thank
Wow.
you.
You're very welcome, and it's my pleasure. And thank you, everyone, for listening and or watching. You know what? Before we go, is there any last thing that you would like to say or share or anything we missed? I forgot to ask you that. Or any words of encouragement or any other thing you have coming up or just anything.
Absolutely. I will say to anybody watching or listening, you are beautiful. You are a precious fiber in the strand of the divine. There's only ever been one you. There will only ever be one you. You're important. You can do great things, and you deserve so much goodness and so much love. And just let it come to you.
Absolutely. Thank you. Beautiful. Thank you. Yes. Again, thank you everyone for watching and or listening. I appreciate you very much for supporting the platform and listening to these amazing, incredible podcasts that I am so thankful to be able to put together and attract incredible, extraordinary people. I am so thankful. Thank you very much. Be sure to hit the like button, the subscribe button, share this, help the platform grow and help get these incredible uh, dialogues and information out there. Until next time, see you soon. Enlighten, empowered, evolve. Love and appreciation.